Help families rebuild.
Donate to the Hurricane Michael Relief Fund.
Tonight, several developing stories as we come on. Inside the caravan pushing north tonight, already into Mexico. What President Trump says they can expect at the border. Our reporter embedded among thousands of migrants, some risking their own lives and their children's lives as well, as immigration becomes a flashpoint in the midterms. Collapse chaos the moment the floor gives way inside a packed college homecoming party. Students pulled into the massive hole, the investigation underway. Also tonight, the urgent search for the gunman who fatally shot an officer. Police taken by surprise. Plus, major new developments in the death of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. What a Saudi official is now saying about what happened to his body. The deadly train disaster, more than a dozen killed when an express train goes off the tracks. The pictures coming in. And billion-dollar dreams. Lotto fever refuses to break. The twin jackpots topping $2 billion. Tonight, the secret you may not know that could improve your odds.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Tom Llamas. And we begin tonight with the growing humanitarian crisis and the political reverberations at home. Thousands of migrants remain on the move tonight in Mexico. The crowd swelling in numbers after illegally pushing across the border from Guatemala, with hopes of eventually arriving here in the United States. The images underscoring how perilous the trek can be. Some parents carrying children crossing into Mexico by raft. Along the journey north, lines of Mexican police in riot gear. There have already been clashes as migrants attempt to escape violence in their home countries. And here at home, President Trump watching closely, already threatening to use the military if necessary. And with just 2 weeks to the midterms, he is putting the blame squarely on Democrats. We begin tonight with Chief National Correspondent Matt Gutman, embedded in Southwest Mexico.
A river of humanity is surging northward tonight. By the thousands, footsore Central American migrants have crossed into Mexico, heading towards the U.S. Hand in hand, they struck out from the town of Ciudad Hidalgo at dawn, where so many illegally crossed this river into Mexico. Twice today, Mexican riot police deployed in force.
They've got tear gas canisters, batons, full riot gear, and obviously fire extinguishers.
They appeared ready for a reprisal of Friday's clashes when thousands crammed the bridge between Guatemala and Mexico. Bursting through the gates, they were met with tear gas, frantic parents shielding their children. Some migrants leaping into the river and swimming across. An unknown number were injured.
Por favor, escúchenos.
Today, Mexican authorities offering asylum to control the flow. The vast majority of migrants turning it down for now, determined to reach America. But President Trump vowing that if Mexican authorities don't stop them, he will.
If that doesn't work out, we're calling up the military. Not the Guard, we're calling up the military.
The mood festive at first, but soon turning desperate. Thirsty migrants swarming locals handing out food and tacos. Local drivers taking pity, and hundreds crushing into cars, pickups, and trucks, some hanging precariously off the sides. Anything to spell them from the 90-degree heat and the miles ahead. We met Blanca gripping her children's hands.
So she's saying that the father of these children was killed by the gangs, and that's one of the reasons she's fleeing.
Nothing, she says, is worse than going back to Honduras. A motorcyclist stopping to offer Blanca's children a ride. Another girl on board suffering heat stroke. Her mother trying desperately to revive her. Delirious, the girl tried to get out, collapsing into my arms. There was no ambulance in sight.
Put her in the seat. No, put her on the floor. No, it's too hot on the floor.
So carefully, we folded her back into the rickshaw. For most of these migrants, the march started 500 miles away in Honduras. And tonight, they're still about 2,000 miles from the U.S. border.
Tom, everybody you see here has actually rejected asylum. It was offered multiple times by the Mexican government today, but everybody here rejected it because they fear it's a ruse to deport them back to Honduras. These people say they're going to continue to march northwards to the United States, which means there will likely be a confrontation with Mexican authorities. Tom.
Matt Gutman with that caravan tonight in Tapachula, Mexico. Matt, our thanks to you. And President Trump continues to hammer the issue of illegal immigration, doubling down on threats of military force and turning it into his hallmark issue for the midterms. ABC's Tara Palmieri is at the White House.
President Trump riling up his base on immigration, stumping out west for vulnerable midterm candidates.
A Democrat victory in November would be a bright, flashing invitation to every human trafficker, drug trafficker.
The battle cry comes as thousands of Central American migrants attempt to head north through Mexico. Officials there on alert. Their response drawing praise from President Trump.
And I want to thank Mexico. Mexico has been so incredible because now Mexico respects the leadership of the United States. They haven't done this.
The president's blaming the Democrats for causing the border crisis without any proof.
It's openly inviting millions of illegal aliens to break our laws, violate our borders, and overwhelm our nation. The Democrats want caravans. They like the caravans.
In a dueling rally, former Vice President Biden punching back on Trump's zero-tolerance immigration policy.
What the hell's going on in America? Ripping infants from their mother's arms at the borders. What are we doing?
With just over 2 weeks to go until the midterms, the president is also making another promise.
We're looking at a major tax cut for middle-income people. I would say sometime around the 1st of November, maybe a little before that.
But that's a promise he likely can't deliver on until after the midterms because Congress is out of session until November 13th.
Tara Palmieri joins us now from the White House. And Tara, you know, he's been ramping up his midterm schedule so far. Do we know where he's headed to in the week ahead?
Well, Tom, President Trump is heading back out west again to stump for his most bitter Republican rival in the 2016, the man he named Lion Ted Cruz. Now, Cruz tells our Paula Ferris that they've patched things up, but he has 3 more stops on the campaign trail after that. Since he's taken office, he's held 36 campaign rallies. Now, compare that to the 14 that former President Obama held during the same period of time. Tom?
Out there on the campaign trail. All right, Tara, thanks so much. Moving on to the emergency scene at a college off-campus party following a floor collapse. The chaotic movement caught on camera, the floor giving way during a Clemson homecoming celebration. More than 24 were injured in the scare. Here's ABC's Ariel Reshef with the investigation now underway.
Tonight, dozens recovering after that shocking moment. A clubhouse floor collapsing, sending people plummeting into the basement. Watch here, partygoers dancing at the off-campus apartment complex near Clemson University when the crowd is suddenly swallowed. The celebration of the school's homecoming win over North Carolina State turning to chaos as people clawed their way out of this gaping hole. This man seen desperately clinging to a floorboard. 12:30 a.m. Sunday, the calls for help pouring in.
Unknown how many other people the whole complex collapsed on them.
Leroy Pearson describing pandemonium.
And next, you know, all I can see feeling myself is just falling like this. And then I wake up because I blacked out and I see like girls everywhere with blood all over their face and everything like that.
30 people transported to the hospital.
To my knowledge, at this point in time, there are many fractures and broken bones and lacerations.
And Tom, the police chief says there is an investigation and they feel lucky no one was trapped. Miraculously, there were no life-threatening injuries. Officials say this could have been a lot worse. Tom?
Ariel Reshef for us. Ariel, thank you. Now to the manhunt unfolding tonight outside Atlanta. A police officer is dead, fired at while responding to a suspicious vehicle. The car then taking off, and tonight the man authorities believe pulled the trigger remains at large. Here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos.
Police in Georgia are on the desperate hunt tonight to find a man suspected of killing an officer outside of Atlanta. Antoine Toney was murdered after responding to a call of a suspicious vehicle near a middle school. Police say the anonymous caller said individuals may have been smoking marijuana in a parked car. But when Officer Toney and his partner arrived, the suspects in the car allegedly opened fire, killing Toney.
The responding officers did in fact return fire, and one of the officers dragged Officer Toney away to cover.
After After the shooting, police arrested 19-year-old Isaiah Predlow, charging him with aggravated assault. But 18-year-old Tafari Maynard is still on the run. Police say he faces charges of aggravated assault and felony murder. Tonight, Officer Tony's colleagues, friends, family are remembering him.
He was just a great person with a lot of heart.
This week would have been Officer Tony's 3rd anniversary with the department. Tom.
And again, that shooter's still at large tonight. All right, Stephanie, thank you. New surveillance footage shows how journalist Jamal Khashoggi seen approaching the Saudi consulate in Istanbul as a Saudi official now goes on the record revealing what allegedly happened to his body and more about his final moments. ABC senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell's in Istanbul.
Tonight, the ever-shifting story from the Saudis changing again. An official telling ABC News the body of Washington Post writer Jamal Khashoggi was handed over to someone local for disposal. But still, no detail about who that was or where the body is now. This as new surveillance images are released showing Khashoggi being searched before entering the Saudi consulate. And here, with his fiancée, it was to be the last time she saw him. After first saying Khashoggi died in a fistfight, the Saudi official now making a stunning new claim that a physical altercation ensued when Jamal tried to leave. In order to prevent him from calling for help, one of the accused suspects placed him in a chokehold position. He died as a result. But Turkish leaks suggesting this was a gruesome, premeditated murder, not an accident. The Saudis are standing by the claims that King Salman and the Crown Prince knew nothing.
This was an operation that was a rogue operation. This was an operation where individuals ended up exceeding the authorities and responsibilities they had.
The claim this was rogue, first raised by President Trump 6 days ago.
It sounded to me like maybe these could have been rogue killers. Who knows?
But now the president taking a tougher stand, telling the Washington Post, obviously there's been deception and there's been lies. Today, senators also pouring scorn on the Saudi version of events.
You don't bring a bone saw to an accidental fist fight inside an embassy in Turkey or a consulate in Turkey. So the Saudis have said a whole bunch of crap that's not right, accurate, or true.
And Ian joins us live outside the Saudi consulate tonight. Ian, we've now learned that many of the 18 who are currently detained came into Turkey from Saudi Arabia the day of the murder.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. 15 people have been identified. That Saudi official telling ABC News that those 15 people are amongst the 18 that have been detained, as you say, in connection with the killing of Jamal Khashoggi. Turkish authorities are also continuing their investigations, and we've just learned that President Trump spoke to the Turkish president this evening. President Erdogan is also saying that on Tuesday he's going to make some kind of an announcement about the killing. Tom?
Okay, we'll stay posted for that. Ian Pannell with that new reporting tonight. Ian, thank you. Moving on, and another major hurricane gaining strength. Hurricane Willa, now a Category 3 storm off the west coast of Mexico, with impacts that could be felt in Texas later this week. Let's get right to ABC News senior meteorologist Rob Marciano, who's in Texas tonight. Rob, good evening.
Good evening. Time finally a dry day here in Austin, but as you can see behind me, the Colorado River is running high and fast, and we have more tropical rains on the way via Hurricane Willa. Take a look at this satellite picture, rapidly strengthening. You can see that eye developing, now a Category 3, about 250 miles from the coast of Mexico, strengthening farther, then hopefully weakening a bit as it gets towards Mazatlan on Tuesday. But the rains from this will get rapidly into Texas tomorrow and then spread into San Antonio, Austin, and Houston by Wednesday, 2 or 3 inches. And in the flood zone, that's all you need for additional flooding. Meanwhile, in the east, more cold air driving down to the south. Frost and freeze advisories from Tennessee, where temperatures will be in the 30s tomorrow, well into the northeast. And again, more rain coming here in a very soggy Austin. Tom?
And an early chill for fall here in New York. All right, Rob, thanks so much. Next tonight, a new week and staggering new jackpots up for grabs. The Mega Millions drawing alone now worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 billion. So who wants to be a billionaire? Marcy Gonzalez found out.
Lottery fever getting hotter tonight. With no one picking all 6 winning numbers in last night's Powerball drawing, the jackpot rolling over. The prize now up to $620 million in that game. And there's another $1.6 billion up for grabs in Tuesday's Mega Millions drawing, the largest lottery jackpot in U.S. history.
It's been insane. Everybody's looking to win a little piece of the pie.
The odds of winning are so slim, around 1 in 300 million for each. Your more likely to give birth to identical quadruplets or become a saint than win one of the jackpots.
It's worth a chance.
And if you do win,
what I spend my money on, navigating the world. I'm going to retire.
With the cash payout for the Mega Millions jackpot estimated around $904 million, you could also buy 822,000 new iPhones.